share this. Yes, good morning, dear viewers, and welcome to Gaza Media. And today is the second day of March in the year of 2025. So we are already into the 10th month of the year 2025, and this is the second. And today is Sunday. I'm your presenter for today, or your host, Enes Kumba. So, as you have seen on our title, we'll be talking on the role of NGO or non-governmental group, and we'll be focusing on Inspire Bright Future in the BLM, the role of common initiative growth in rural development. As you will know that in many instances or in many communities, the role of NGOs or rural or non-governmental organizations are numerous. But before I will get into that, I would like to bring up this announcement of what is going to happen. We have sent out a couple of announcements ago. So this afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that will be around 7 p.m. Cameroon time, Lebang, the Bang Road Project Committee will be holding a Zoom meeting where they will be discussing the equipment pool manual. I think Dr. Joe Foduchan, who is the chairperson of that committee, has sent out people who are guiding the management of the recent Caterpillar. Uh, I think there was network hitches. Yeah. So that is it for that one. Then and on the 11th of this month, that will probably in 10 days from now, at Mary Health of Africa, Lokudu USA will be holding a medical campaign, that is hair medical treatment, that will comprise of the screening, diagnosis, and treatment. Mary Health of Africa Hospital in Fontaine from the 11th to the 13th. That will be a Tuesday to Thursday of that month. And they are inviting all the bank people who have any illnesses or who have illnesses related to hypertension, diabetes, cancer, and mental illness, and of course, eye problems to go to that clinic or to go to Mary Health of Africa Hospital for a free health campaign, for a free medical services. Now, let's go back to our topic of today, the role of local NGO in rural community. As earlier said, NGO play a pivotal role in the development, in the socio-economic development of rural area by addressing some challenges that rural community faces, like in terms of agriculture, education, finances, being able to get microfinances to run small businesses, in terms of education, providing some of the basic training, some of the basic training that technical training that the youth may need in order to empower themselves in certain trade like say plumbing, building construction, and what have you. And also in health services, where sometimes this local NGO may pull in some medical expert to give some health education and even offer some training, just like similar to what the Kudu is doing, which is a non-governmental organization, a cultural organization that is organizing a health campaign that will take place in 10 days, as earlier announced. And of course, some local NGO, again, they'll bring in youth. They empower the youth. They empower women, women equity, bringing them to their full potential, to into business, to become entrepreneur, so that the youth can also be decision makers. And of course, some NGO they actually play a role in policy making by holding the lawmaker accountable for whatever project or for whatever decision that they are making. And when we look at the Inspire Bright Future, which I think many people already know, their role in the BLM, particularly the bank, throughout the last summer or the last term holiday in Menji, where one of the biggest activity that they did was the football tournament, the marathon, the head training. But the football seemed to overshadow everything. But beyond the football, there was a lot that Inspired Bright Future was able to accomplish. I'm here with one of the member, the coordinator for Inspire Bright Future by Nkem Edwin. So he will be joining me so that we can begin to discuss the objective of the Inspire Bright Future, their goal, and what they really stand for and what they want to achieve in the long run. Let me bring in Mr. Nkem Edwin so that we'll begin to dive into some of this conversation. Yes, Mr. Edwin, welcome and good morning and welcome to Gaza Media.
I yes, CEO of Gaza Media. Uh, Thank you so much, and I'm really really excited to be part of today's or this morning session. Uh,
Yes,
so yeah, it's
yes,
an honor to be here.
thank you so much. I mean, we have been trying to hold this, but due to the differences, the so many challenges with time scheduling and stuff like that, it has not been very easy to as well. So when we're looking at Inspire Bright Future, so can you just maybe briefly tell us Inspire Bright Future, how it was conceived, or what was the idea behind in conceptualization to come out with the thing that we have seen so far?
Yeah, CEO. The bright future in general, we see that it's a non-governmental organization. And of course, when we look behind, we will see that our place in the name of Lebialem, our place in the name of Fontaine, has been affected greatly with this crisis that we have going on in Cameroon. And we see that people has been displaced, places have been deserted, and the thing that really pushed us to come up with this Bright Future organization is because we try to reunite people together. We try to impart knowledge to the community that we all come from. I'm a son, a born and bred son of Lebialem, and a born and bred son of Fontaine or Leban, Leban, as we may all call it. We also have a whole team that comprises of sons and daughters of Leban. So if you see the reason why we came up with this, it's not just because we sit sometime and we think about an NGO or we think about a non-governmental organization to just exercise our strength or something. No, we have a whole lot that really pushed us to come up with this organization. Just like you see from the name of the organization, it says Inspired Bright Future. And if you look at our motto, it will tell you everything about what we are out for, what we are really aspiring to get within the community. If you see our motto it simply says that we are out to empower youth, women, and communities. We are out to empower youth, women, and communities. And if you look at it very well, we empower youth, women, and community. Yes. When we talk about communities, we have to talk about the people that live in the community. And so our strength is how to tackle these young people. As you can see, I'm a very young person. Our strength or our first focus is how to tackle these young people and integrate into that community that they have all abandoned for years. And you see, we came up with this Inspire Bright Future because we really want to reunite families together. You know, we have seen that this whole struggle, this whole strike has caused a lot. Family has been separated. We've seen parents going to the cities to go and put their children out there because they really want them to have educations. They go out there, they put them, and then they go back to the village. What happened next? These children do not have the coordination of a parental coordinations. We don't see that. We have really witnessed that so many of these kids, when there was no strike, we see that some of them were not were very, very well coordinated by their parents. But now you see that within this period of time, let's say 7, 8 years of this strike, we have seen some of these young girls. They are mothers now. Why? It's because they went to the cities, they throw them right there, and their parents are back in the village trying to make money to feed for them, all in the name of trying to, give them the best education.
Yes, and Edwin, and that is true, and that is from some one thing that I think maybe we have not been able to really analyze, especially the mass exodus that
Mhm.
happened in most of these remote area like Leban, Lebialem, where people move to the western region. You see unwanted pregnancy because there were no means, there were no parenting, there no discipline at home. Everybody was shattered and left on their own. But now you see, your organization came in, I think headed by Terence. So during, I think that was the holiday around August, summer holiday. That was the rain season in Cameroon. You saw the activities that you people were able to put together in 3 months. That pulled a lot of crowd to Fontaine. And part of, I think part of the war, because there was a team that came from there as well. So now my question to you would be, how were you able to conceive all this idea? Because I thought when we saw the images that was displaying, we saw the crowd that people were able to say, hey, maybe life is back in the village. It is not as rough as we thought it could be. And that begins to open room for people to begin to retreat back to their homes.
Right, CEO. If you look at it very well, you will see that for us to be able to pull this crowd, it was a whole lot of considerations. Being in a team that we have a very experienced people like Mr. Terrence, we have experienced people like myself, we have experienced people like other team members that we coordinate this whole bright feature together. You can see that when we were looking at reuniting these people, we were looking at reuniting especially the youth with their parents. We realize that human body works in different ways, and different ways in the sense that when you come to the field of youth, we see that young people, they like something that can entertain them, they like socialization. And so we decided to bring in soccer. Like you mentioned, bright future is not just about soccer, and sometimes soccer overshadows it. The reason behind soccer or overshadowing the activities for now is because we felt that there is something we need to do to attract these young people that are in the city so that they can come back home and reunite with their parents. So many of them could not come back home because they didn't know what can entertain them back home. Some of them didn't want to come back home because they felt like when they come back home, maybe they would just end their lives in the farms, helping their parents and all that. So we decided to come up with this soccer activity, which is a very big tool to reunite parents and young people. We realize that young people fall in love with socialization very much, that they can even go to an extent to make sure that they utilize these socialization tools and feel the need or integrate themselves in the society. And so we came up with this soccer because we saw that I am a young person, and I know we all grew up from that place. I grew up from that place, and we saw that when it comes to soccer in Leban, in Lebialem, it's a different ball game. Young people turn to focus their attention into it because it's an activity that the young people actually wants.
Yeah, and that's true because they always say soccer or football is a game of assignment and unity, and you couldn't have said it any much better. So now, apart from that, yeah, we were mentioned that there were some other thing that you people did during that tour. Will you mind highlighting some of those other activities apart from soccer? Yeah, from the images we saw there was a marathon, but
Yeah.
was there anything other thing other than that?
Oh yeah, of course. When we saw that the soccer could reunite these families together, we decided to also push an agenda that we have and that we are struggling to really push to the community, which part of it was empowering young people, especially girls. We try to educate them about their health. We try to educate them about their selves, their
Self-image, self-esteem.
yeah, their self-esteem. Some of them really lack knowledge on how to operate themselves, especially women. Women in the society are very vulnerable. We realized that when they went out of the cities, or when they went out of their comfort zones, their parents were not associated with them. They started having something like pressure. They have
Hmm.
other communities that were in that very particular area that they live. They saw that people are, internet now has really brought so many changes and all that. We see that competition has become a routine within the young people. So since their parents were out there, they're struggling to see how they can focus on their education, see how they can focus on how they can live. Some of them felt the pressure and started engaging themselves and being very vulnerable to so many things. Like
Hmm.
they have exploitation, sexual exploitation over these young girls. So we decided to come up with a program. Went in for health personnel that are well trained. We invited them to come in and talk to the young girls, especially based on how unwanted pregnancy,
Hmm.
unwanted pregnancy is all about. We tell them about how genotypes, if you watch at some of those videos, those footages,
Yeah,
we see that health personnel came and told them about genotype. You don't just go you know, in a sexual relationship when you don't even know your
yeah,
stuff.
genotype. Yeah.
Exactly. So we really gave them this knowledge, and I think it has really helped some of them because, in as much as some of them were very, very blank concerning this side of life, these health personnel came and educated them. Wow, we had a whole program that brought them together. They gave
Hmm.
them all this knowledge, and they were able to capture something. And I think that after that exercise, after that educational that class that health personnel came and impacted on these young people, especially girls, they are able to be mindful of the way they do things right now. I think some of them are really, really scared as well because they
Hmm.
now have the knowledge. They say ignorance
Yeah.
brings you to,
Yeah. I mean, can push you, can send you
excuse me.
to unwanted situation. Yes, Mr.
Exactly.
Edwin, and that was is it. I think one other area or that sometime because I think I don't know exactly how much you guys spend because all the costume, the money that was pumped into the community at that time too. I think it also creates some impact. Because, like, those that have small business, those that were already having their small businesses along the street of Wisdom College Street,
Mhm.
along that exit to the hospital or even to Menji. Uh, I think with that kind of communal with population coming in, people are forced to buy stuff. I mean, money circulate a little bit in the village during that time.
Exactly. Village is trying to reopen, and we see that with this activity that we came up, small, small, petty businesses that are booming up. The community cannot reopen. The community cannot come back to the way it was if we don't have small, small activities that can support these people that live in the community. In as
Mhm.
much as we are trying to sensitize everybody that has left the community, have left their homes to settle somewhere else, to come back home. We also want to create an atmosphere in which it will be very, very conducive for them. An atmosphere of socialization, an atmosphere of how business they can be able to reach out to small, small basic needs. We have little, little stores that are operating now. We want to have them integrate so much that they will feel the need to come back home. We see that with this Bright Future thing, people came back home to participate. Youth felt the need to come back. The women felt the need to come back. The community felt the need to come back. And now it has promoted this business sector, the business people, because these youth that they come, they cannot come and then they go all the way back to Chang to start buying stuff and coming back. That will be another push factor to send them away out of that community. And so
Hmm.
these small businesses were operating around the community, and those people felt like, oh, it's a little bit easier for them to get access to all these small things. You want to cook your food, you should be able to have
Yeah.
Maggi, salt, rice, and all these things around you. So I think that our agenda was able to help the business sector as well.
And that's and yeah, and that was quite true. And I think it's true for every community that has undergone through that kind of trauma,
Mhm.
that kind of shutdown for a certain amount of time. Then is trying to reopen it. Is that you are going into maybe a virgin forest to start up a new life and stuff like that. So, Mr. Edwin, apart from this other project that you are saying, are there what are some of the projects that you may have on the pipeline, or that you have done, or anything that you plan to do moving forward from here?
Well, right now we have a whole lot. There's a whole big agenda. The big agenda is that for now we are struggling to focus on the population to believe in us.
Hmm.
We're struggling to focus on the population to believe in us. As soon as they believe in us, we're going to start pushing our agendas that we have in the pipeline. We have agendas like, in the United States, they have something that we call the health insurance. We are struggling to see how we attach this. We we cultivate the habit, or maybe we have an environment where health insurance will be very easy and accessible to the community. We have realized also that back there, people are not able to receive good health. They're not
Hmm.
able to receive so many things because maybe they feel like um, the resources are not there. So we are struggling to push an agenda of health insurance, which is what we are trying so much in the background to introduce to the community, so that people here in the United States that have their family back home can be able to pay for insurances, you know come up with something to see that their family back home receive good health. We
Hmm.
realize that here in the community that we live, United States, we have seen that some of us have health insurances that we go to yearly checkups and all that. We have seen early deaths in back home. We have seen early deaths back home happening because people don't go for checkups. You sit until you want to be sick before you go for your checkup. No, it doesn't happen that way. So we are struggling to see that since we have had this opportunity to go out here, learn how people do things, we struggle to create this atmosphere for our community to also enjoy, to also benefit, and to also utilize it. So we're struggling to have that particular area so that we attach to this our agenda and have people come in and utilize this agenda that we have, because we
Hmm.
feel like it's gonna give long life in the community. People
Yes,
will be.
and Edwin, that's true. Yes, I think having a kind of a scheme where, like you mentioned, people in the diaspora where they can actually maybe put some money into somewhere. You partner with some local clinic where
Mhm.
people can go there for regular checkup, and maybe then the scheme pay through that. So let me ask you now: are you already even though you say it's in the pipeline, are you already working with some organization or to leverage this kind of stuff? Maybe have some health institution on the ground, or have some other people that have been in the NGO where that you are leveraging, that you are maybe exchanging your thought, your idea with them.
Oh yeah, of course. We we will have to partner with so many institutions, so many organizations, and I must tell you this, because of how, or because of what we did in 2024, so many institutions are having that trust in us, and we are struggling in the background now to build that relationship. Now, I cannot really mention these institutions that we are talking, because we have not really come into an agreement on how
Yeah.
to go about it. But I will tell you that we are trying to create that relationship. We are trying to create that trust with this organization, we are talking already in the background with so many organizations that will come in and help us, that will come in and partner with us, that we will also partner with them and give them our agendas, and they will also absorb it and try to
Hmm.
see how we implement it for the good of our communities, for the good of our people, so that all of us will all benefit and enjoy from it. But yes, in the background, we are talking with so many organizations, with so many people to push that agenda forward.
Yeah, Mr. Edwin, I think before I will ask you the challenges, let me ask you this: should we be waiting for another soccer tournament again next next holiday? I know it's still a little bit far. We
Oh,
are just the beginning of the year, but August, we are already 6 months, maybe 6 months into August. Planning early is always the best.
oh yeah. I will tell you, fortunate enough, yesterday, Saturday, we had our first planning section for this year 2025
Hmm.
soccer tournament. If you record that kind of success in 2025 soccer tournament, sorry. If you record that kind of success in 2024, of course you are motivated to
Yeah,
do the same thing over and over again, because we are out to see that the community is happy, and if the community was happy because of what we did in 2024, why should we stop? Why should we actually stop? So we are
I,
now trying to even make it better than the 2024 session, because the
that's
2024 session came, it was our first year. And when you do your thing, when you do something the first time, you definitely learn a lot, especially from the challenges, the weaknesses that you face along the line. So we had our first planning meeting yesterday. We discussed on our challenges that we had, and we see how to better it up this year 2025. And I think we are going to do a very great job this 2025. To the population out there, we say a big yes, and this time for the 2025 tournament is going to be on a different level. If
yeah.
you if what happened,
The excitement. I think people would definitely be waiting because, when the images came out, people were like surprised that this kind of thing was even going on. I know myself, it was fascinating to watch those activities. Every time when I look at some of those images, they're just so amazing. Yeah, Mr. Edwin, what about some of the challenges that the organization now seem to be facing? I know it's still a new organization, but there are always challenges. Are there any?
well, yeah, there are a whole bunch of challenges. We, like I said, when you start something from the very first time, you learn a lot from that very first experience. And you see that last year we had challenges, let's say because we started late. And this year I just mentioned that we had our first planning meeting last Saturday, yesterday.
Hmm.
And that was a remedy to what we faced last time. We had a very short period of time to do that organization that we had last year. And this year we started very early. We had planning meeting with our coordinators, with our team that we work with. We come up with different committees so that it will make work very easy for us. It will make work very easy for the community. It will make work very easy for any other person that is participating. So, like I will tell you, there is heat on ground right now. I have
Hmm.
my cell phone that rings every time. I'm a young person that grew up in the village. We were playing soccer, and the young people that are now partaking in this soccer tournament are people that were very young when I was playing, and they were watching us. So I would tell you that they know me very well. They
Yeah,
are reading my phone. Hey, Erwin,
and
easy.
their excitement.
They are so excited. They say, "Now which day we go stop? Now which day we go start? Now which day we go start?" And I'm telling them, yes, we are going to start summer. We are going to start. So we have an agenda to start in the summer period, especially after the GCE, because we are targeting the
Yeah.
youth, and we want the youth to have. We don't want to put them no pressure. We want to
Hmm.
have. We want to really work with their calendar. That is the good thing that we do. We want to work with the
Yeah.
calendar of the youth, especially after the GCE. We have young people that are writing, semesters results, university students. So we really plan
Hmm.
to start around June. That is our picture. We start around June because we know that by June, many schools, many exams must have been written, and these people will be free to go back home and partake in this activity. So
Yes.
those are
Yes.
those are the challenges that we faced last time. How
Mhm.
to
Right.
how to coordinate that. Those are one of the challenges, and of course, we also have other challenges. I don't know if you wanted to ask a
Yes,
question.
I wanted to ask you like, yeah, because when you were talking, like, I wanted to first of all ask, like, where were the funding coming from? Where were all the money came from? Where the money came from to run all that kind of activities? Because
All
that
right,
was
see,
huge.
yeah, CEO, that's a very good question. And I will tell you that the people of Lebanon, they love their community in a way that they can go to an extent to donate, especially to donate to an activity that they see that is boosting their community, is empowering their community, is bringing back their community. Every son and daughter of Lebanon, especially outside Lebanon right now, maybe in the diaspora, even some of them that hold position, big positions that they think they can really contribute much, are reaching out. Oh, they had this mind, to push back something to the community, but they didn't know how to do it. And now Bright Future came. They have now seen the need to push it behind the Bright Future's aim and purpose or objective. And we see that so many business owners that are out there that are sons and daughters of Lebanon. We see that the community that is in the diaspora, so many are contributing money, free will donations. They are doing it just to see that we realize our dreams, we realize our goal, not just as a bright future, but also as a community. Now, Bright Future is just standing as an organization to push this agenda to the people and let them enjoy it. So, all these things, we have so many people around us. We have, like I said, we have sons and daughters that are willing to push this agenda so bad, but they
Hmm.
just didn't know the right place, the right way, and the right persons to channel um, these funds to so that they can
Cool.
push agendas like that.
Yeah, Edwin, I want to thank you so much for taking the time this morning to come here and to share the thought and the vision of the Inspired Bright Future and some of the things that people did that many people were not even aware that people were behind the scene working tirelessly. And I think the turnout was good. The impact was positive. Everybody could see for themselves. I mean, the assignment, I saw Madame Arachelis, who was speaking there. I think the general manager of Credit Union, Minji Credit Union too was there, and many other people, even the Reverend Father too. I mean, the doctor that they were there doing presentations and what have you. I think it was a wonderful initiative. It was a wonderful program thought, well planned and executed. So we hope to see more from you.
Oh yeah, of course. We are blessed to have a whole team. From the spiritual side, we have Reverend Father
Mhm.
working with us.
Yeah.
From the medical side, we have doctors, we have nurses
Mhm.
that are present in the field, so they really know how these people are. They know who these people are. Sorry, and we really have a solid. I'll tell you that we have a solid team. We have well experienced people. We have people like Mr. Terrence that come with so many brilliant ideas. He has worked with different organizations, so he brings them in, and we are cultivating it. Some of us are learning it. People like myself, I have a very good relationship with these young people that are actually making this agenda to work very well. So you see
Mhm.
that from every angle we are solidified. We are very, very much solidified, and this agenda is able to be successful because of how we have people from every angle that we think that can make this project work, and they are coming in with their experiences. And of course, we are recording a very great success. We are recording great successes and all that.
Yes, Edwin, thank you so much, and hope to see you again next time. All right.
Well, thank you so much, CEO, and appreciate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dear viewer, we'll probably come to the end of this segment here. That was Mr. Nkem Edwin, who is also an MC. He does entertainment as a side hustle, but he's very so much into community development. As you have been listening to him, yeah, coordinating the activities of Inspire Bright Future, and he's one of the NGO that was very instrumental during last holiday in Fontaine in the reopening of schools and many other activities as we have been discussing with him. We hope that people would support them in their endeavor. Again, for the just to recap the announcement, this afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the US and 7 p.m. Cameroon time, the Lebanon Road Project Committee will be having a Zoom meeting which is open to all the bank people to come in and so that they can discuss and finalize the road equipment project manual that will actually manage the caterpillar that were recently bought. And the second and the last announcement is that of the hair campaign that is going to take place at Mary Health of Africa Hospital, Fontaine, from the 11th to the 13th, that is Tuesday to Thursday. And again, the same event will be taking place at Fonjumeto simultaneously. And those who refer will be referred to St. Constance Clinic in Chang the following week. And that brings us to the end of this announcement and the end of this segment. Thank you and see you next time.